Hi friends, welcome to my channel, and the person's been with the latest editions of Tarot magazine. So as usual, let's open it together. So we have issues 54 and 55 with the Pagan Tarot, the top box, and two court cards, two kings from our Golden Art Nouveau Tarot. I conveniently have the pouch and the box right here, which is really exciting now because I nearly got the full deck. So last time, if you recall, we had the last two queens, the Queen of Swords and the Queen of Pentacles. And now we've got two kings. So yeah, that's going to be interesting to see what happens after. I mean, the next mailing we'll have the final two kings. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens after that, because I have no idea what the plan is. Okay, Pagan Tarot. I was wondering about this because I have, and actually have had for a long time, the Pagan Tarot. This is a 2010 deck. 2010. This deck is 13 years old. And if I'm going to be a cynic, is this a way for Los Scarabeo to actually offload decks that they've got in their back catalogue? Because it seems I've got a lot of these decks. It also seems a lot of these decks are quite old. But that's my opinion. Of course. So what we can do is have a look at the differences between them. The information that we get in the magazine and the information we get in the kit. Which is obviously, it's going to be more, of course it is. Okay, so here we have the deck. Actually, it looks like it's the same backs as in the one I have. We'll have a look at that in a minute. So we've got the King of Wands and the King of Cups from our Golden Art Nouveau Tarot. Beautiful looking ones they are too. Hold on. Let's put this to one side for a second and zoom in on our two kings. There we go. So, as usual, lots of bling. Very Rider-Waite-Smith. We've got the fish around the neck here for the King of Cups. Totally in control of their emotions. You've got the salamanders. Yeah, it's a lovely deck this is. I really like it. And I do have the small version, but it's just so nice to have this larger version. Love it. Okay, so that's the Golden Art Nouveau. Moving on. We have the tuck box for the Pagan Tarot. It's beautiful. That to one side, and let's unlock the Pagan Tarot itself. Okay, front card and back card. It looks borderless, but it isn't. It's a very dark blue, so it actually appears to be borderless. So let's compare it with the ones that you get in this kit. It's a beautiful green box. And it's got a 160-page book that comes with. This is the back. Isn't it lovely? Yeah. Really nice. Okay. I'll just take the book out for now. And interestingly enough, top card on the kit version is an advert for Tarot Draconis, which is another deck that we've had in our collection. Okay, so yeah, let's have a look. Ooh. Alright, fact, these are not going to be in order, of course. Okay, it's different. It is different backs. Yeah, different backs. Okay. And then the fronts. Yeah, different. Okay, right. Give me a second. I'm going to put them in order and we'll see. Side by side. Okay, I've sorted them in order. They were completely out of order. That's taken me about 5 minutes to do. And immediately, first to one side, immediately we can see the first difference, which is the borders. And I do prefer those. These stark white borders and the different languages around the outside here were typical of low scarabeo decks back then, back in the day. I don't think they do it so much now, but they do. Their guidebooks are, the little guidebooks, when they don't come in a kit, are actually in 4 different languages, which is the same on the cards. So there's that difference. We don't have that on this one. This one looks more magical this fall than this one. That blue border, it really enhances it, doesn't it? I think I prefer this back to this one. Why? Well, I suppose that one's not reversible, you can actually tell, whereas this one is, so that's a good thing, I suppose, if that matters to you. But I think otherwise we're going to see that the images are the same. And they're really nice. They've got, like you would expect, an earthy feel to them. You know, we have everyday depictions of life in the cards here in the Empress. Which I like here is we have a nod here to Venus. You see the statue in the background? That's the Greek. Yeah, and so I've been doing my Greek mythology studies. But yeah, that's Venus. In fact, my mum used to have a statue, it's a little water fountain of Venus in our garden. Back when I was a child. So there's a story behind these cards, you can probably see. And this is a completely different sort of Hierophant, isn't it, where we're burning books. So yeah, I think some of the images could be quite triggering actually. But it's a deck out on its own, this one. It's very unique. Get this here, this signature. Oh yeah, Chariot off on the travels and broken down. It's completely different feel to a Rider-Waite-Smith interpretation. Sometimes, like using this deck, it's felt that it's not very cohesive because we have these everyday sort of modern type images combined with druidry, you know, and that sort of feel. Sometimes, I mean, here we've got a computer for the Wheel of Fortune with a very old-fashioned computer program, very old-fashioned computer. It is of its time. So here in Justice, it's got threefold return, the law of threefold return. So that is sort of the witch and the wizard, if you like. I mean, we've got the scales here, but they're telling them in their path that this is what justice is about, the threefold return. So if you don't know what that is, if you point a finger, you will notice there's 3 pointing back towards you. So whatever you give out will come back to you 3 times. That's the threefold return in a nutshell. In the Hangman, we've got someone blindfolded and tied, about to go into a ritual. And death as rebirth. You know, it's a story. So we come back someone new. We let go of who we were going into that ceremony and come back different. Here we have Temperance. So we're balancing day-to-day life here with our spirituality. Look at this phone. It's quite dated, isn't it, some of the imagery? Good though. You've got the Devil. It's a very different take on the Devil card, isn't it? I do prefer this with the blue belt border, so maybe I'll take back what I said about Lo Scarabeo releasing decks that are older and, you know, trying to offload them, maybe. Well, because this is different, actually. Yeah, it maybe has been just reprinted this way. The Tower card, completely different, isn't it? This is not how you would see the normal Tower card. Why is this person feeling this way about what's going on behind them? What's that trigger there? And we have the Star. So we have a goddess appearing, or spirit appearing. The Moon. He's doing some magical work by the Moon. The Sun. So although we're here out on holiday, drawing a pentagram in the sand. Judgment. So a reference to the hanging and burning times. We've got a witch here tied to the stake. And people being hung there. So this is the Salem witch trials. And this is someone being taken back in trance to those times. And then we have the World. And some Fae. And we have these symbols here. Now these symbols appear on the court cards. You'll see them repeated on the court cards. So it looks to me as if it's exactly the same deck. It's just the borders have changed. And the writing. So, yeah. Okay. So, let's carry on. You can decide which one you like best. I'm veering towards these, actually. Anyway. Got the Ace, Chalice. They're called Chalices in this original deck and Cups in the reworked one, reformatted. Does an interesting change. The colours look slightly different. Maybe it is just the border that's making it appear that way. Two of Cups. It looks like a mirror, however the clothes changed, so maybe we're mirroring who we think we are with who we think we should be. So we've got a Three of Cups and we're sharing photograph albums. You might be able to see why I'm thinking with this deck it was a little bit incongruent. You know, some of the cards didn't line up with some of the other cards, so I found it a little bit challenging in that way, you know. And some of these figures felt quite daunting. I don't know, it's the robes, I think, they just put me off a little bit. 6. Children's tea party, nothing new here. 7, rainbow, again the same thing but within a pentagram. So we've still got the choices. 8, going off on that journey, leaving those what we knew behind. 9. Choose your poison. And the 10. a baby here. So we've got the whole gamut of middle-aged people, young people, old people and children, and a baby and puppies. We've got everybody there in the 10. Yeah, now that's what I was saying about those elementals. There's that word, world card. There. So here we have this elemental. And I do like the way that they've renamed the chords. So instead of a page, each page is now renamed elemental, and it has the elemental energy of the suit, which is nice going, you know, with the pagan theme. And the novice instead of the knight. The queen is now the initiate. Yeah, I can't see any changes to the artwork at all. The king is the elder, and not necessarily male. It's interesting as well how, I'm going to show you in this one, the progression isn't just with the humans, but the progression is also with the animals, which is a nice touch. Do you see that? Okay, so that was the cups, or the chalices in the original deck. Cups in this one that we're getting with the magazines. Okay, what comes next in this one? Pentacles. They do them in strange orders, these decks. Okay, so we're going Pentacles for some reason. Let's have a look. Maybe I'll just do this deck now, because they are the same images. Actually, I will do them side by side, just in case there is a change and I miss it. Okay. Alright, so the ace, we have a coin in a frozen landscape. Yeah, these borders are definitely detracting from the image. These aren't. Definitely. Get the other two. And 3. Bringing down some energy there. And we've got Maiden, Mother and Crone as well. And then we have a supermarket. It's just, I don't know, it just feels weird somehow. Some other cards, they're like, well, I don't get it. Why are we in a supermarket for the Four of Pentacles? It just doesn't align for me. It's a shame the way it's just done this. You know, we're in line here and the Five of Pentacles, ready to deposit the pentacle in the bank. That doesn't align for me. 6. Are we asking for a loan? 7. Trying to make plants grow in the garden. 8. 9. 10. And onto the court. So here we go. There is the elemental from the world card. That's the page. Novice, or the knight. The queen is now the initiate, and the king is the elder. Okay. Wands comes next. There's our wand ready to be picked up and taken on the adventure. The 2, and we have a backpack ready to go. We're making plans. We've put the fire out, ready to go. 3, again at a computer. What is it with this computer thing? I don't know. 4, there's a ceremony. 5, which sort of looks like the young people don't agree with what the older people are saying. It's got that sort of edge to it. 6, the victory card, so maybe this is the new high priestess. The 7, 8, the 9, the car is being towed away, and they're paying for the privilege by the looks of it. But they've all gathered here in a circle, pointing energy or trying to bring energy up to this situation. So, yeah, 10. What I mean, it's the most unusual deck. So here we have the salamander. This salamander here. For the element. The elemental. We have a novice. Initiate. You can see the progression. The novice has got small fire, the initiate. It's now learned, or they've now learned how to raise his fire, and they've got an extra pendant as well. And then we have the elder, and that fires sending out smoke signals. And again, we've got different stages, I would say, of their progression through the pagan pathway. They could have gone a bit further with this, I think, you know, with the background. I thought that before, you know, these trees here are the same throughout, whereas you could have seen maybe the progression of the trees as well growing. But that's just the way I think. So that's the deck. Yeah, old and new. Righty. So let's have a little look at the magazines. Okay, so we have part 54, part 55, and some images from the Pagan Tarot deck on the front. So let's have a little look at part 54. Very glossy, aren't they, these? Alright, so we start off with an article. You normally get an article at the start, and this one is about involving the querent. Close collaboration between reader and querent is likely to result in a more useful interpretation. So pointing out positive aspects of difficult cards there. It says here, with the difficult cards, the reader should encourage the querent to pick up the card and study it carefully. Help them to see it more clearly, but it will also make it seem less distant and mysterious. Some people don't, you know, some readers don't like people handling their cards at all. No, that's personal preference. Depends how easy it is to get hold of another copy of that deck, I suppose. If you've got a deck that isn't mass market, that isn't easily available, you're going to be less likely to actually encourage some other people to keep handling your cards, in my opinion. Okay, so we've got some more of the Golden Art Nouveau here. So, asking the right questions, asking the querent to describe what they see on the card. So they're also making their own interpretation, really, there. Mood changes. Kai just came in for a drink of water. And while he was doing that, I just had a quick scan read of this. And this article called Involving the Querent is actually getting the querent to do their own reading, really. You know, getting them to give their thoughts on what's coming up on each card and what they're thinking, and getting them to build the story and conclude the reading. And actually, yeah, they're doing the reading themselves. That's a strange way. Anyway, they might think, what am I paying you for if I'm going to do the reading myself? I mean, I sort of agree with involving the querents, definitely, and talking to the querents, but as for getting them to do their own reading, I'm not too sure about that. Anyway, so our carding detail is the Four of Wands. Preparation, perfectionism. It says time to celebrate. We have some keywords, a little bit about what the Four of Wands is, some symbols from the Four of Wands. So yeah, it's the same format. The themes, so personal life, divination, psyche and soul, what the card shows us, some questions for journaling or thinking about the lesson, how it aligns to the Hermetic Order of the Golden Dawn here, and the Tree of Life, and the elements, and the planets, and the signs, the traditional meanings, upright and reversed, and then some examples from other decks. Here we've got the Worth, Tarot of the Angels, we've had that one, the Klimt, which I've bought a while ago, so I just love that deck and it's so blingy. And then we have Lo Scarabeo Tarot, Neferati's, the Pagan, which is the one we've just got. Why it's included in this is a bit strange, seeing as we've got the deck, but anyway, it says it represents blessings. And we have the Fae Tarot, the Runic Tarot, yeah, we've had that one. Shaman Tarot, that's coming in 60 and 61. Then Tarot of the Dark Grimoire, Tarot of the White Cats, we've had that one. And then we have a spread. This is past life spread. Traces of the past are also present in the current incarnation. Looks like we've got 3 versions. We've got quite a few cards, 9 cards. It uses the whole deck. Yeah, preparing, positioning the cards, interpreting. These are the positions. So the past life, the goal in the previous life, the obstacles in the previous life, a life lesson, the verdict, the new mission, the current goal, the current obstacle, and the current incarnation. We have a synthesis of the spread, all 3 versions. Pagan Tarot Library, okay. So it says the aim of this deck is to explore the need to balance our material everyday needs with our spiritual and psychological journey. So it's trying to marry the two, which is why we have those more modern cards as well as the Pagan Path ones. It's trying to reconcile it within our own life. Whether they've done, you know, achieved that, I'm not sure. Anyway, so yeah, it's Gina M. Pace. So it is a Wiccan or Pagan's life experience. Here we go. The Pagan Tarot tells the story of a Wiccan priestess who, on her journey of spiritual growth, finds herself conflicted by a series of real-life problems. So the car breaking down, and yeah, it is an actual story. So we have some interpretations for the Major Arcana, which is not very much. The court cards, so it goes into the court cards and the numbers, and then the minors, okay, so they've actually broken it down even more. So they've broken it down into the elements, the numbers, and the court cards, because it is a bit of a different deck. And then we have a visual reference to it, where to go to practice in the magazine, and a sneak peek at what's coming. Let's just have a look while we're here in the book that comes with the kit. So, like I said, it's the first edition was 2005. So yeah, I was a bit wrong there actually. So it's 2005, and this is, oh, it's even, okay, so this current edition is 2010. This is an old deck. The first edition was 2005. That's like nearly 20 years ago. Gosh. Yeah, so we have an introduction, bright blessings, the history of tarot, the structure of tarot, Yeah, breaking it down. Look at the typeface in this book. It's amazing, isn't it? Picking the spread, preparing for the reading, interpreting the reading, or note about reversals, meditation, some spreads. So we've got 1, 2, and 3 versions of that. 3 for Wicker's Cross, short and sweet pentagram. 5, 6, a new moon spread, a pre-casting spread. Yeah, so quite a few spreads in here. And we go into the major. So the full 0 unnumbered. Here it says, we've got a lovely big picture of the full, and this is matte. Actually, it's not gloss, you know, like Llewellyn books that come with their kits. Here it says, a new journey, one that will take us beyond the parameters of our normal existence, asks us to trust and to place our faith in the universe and reach for something greater than ourselves. Here, in the book. Our witch finds herself blindfolded. Although she has no idea where she is walking, she steps forth with confidence. However confident, she is smart and therefore cautious, which is not what a fool is really, is it? A fool isn't cautious. Anyway, her arms are stretched out in front of her, not in fear, but as if to reach out and accept whatever crosses her path. If she could see, she would see, as we do, an elegant night sky illuminated only by stars. Stars gather beneath her feet to support her and create a path. Does she know that she's walking on such a heavenly path? Beside her strolls a beautiful long-haired white cat. Perhaps it is helping her navigate on her mysterious and exciting course. And then we go. The meaning. The Fool represents the leap of faith necessary in following a new path. This card can also remind you of the need to accept whatever comes along or appreciate whatever your life takes you. This is the beginning of a new journey, one that will take you beyond the parameters of your normal existence. You are asked to trust and to place your faith in the universe while reaching for something greater than yourself. So yeah, quite a lot there. Then it goes, after the major arcana, it actually breaks it down here as well, just like it has, where was it? Next page, wasn't it? Yeah. So they have done the same. They've broken it down into the suits. So Pentacles, this suit is a representation of the energies associated with the earth. Things of a physical nature and therefore a financial sense is often included. Security, comforts and the things we do to ensure our survival are covered in the cards of this suit. Here it says, the suit of Pentacles represents the energies associated with the earth. Actually, it's the same text. Yeah, it's the same text as in the books. Okay. Then we have the numbers. So aces represent new beginnings, something that is literally physically new entering our lives and waking us up to a new decision, path or challenge we can take. It is an energy that gives us something to work with, like a piece of the puzzle that might have been missing previously. Actually, same is exactly the same text. Right, okay. And then court cards, does it go? No. So the court cards must come later. There we go. Yep, it's the same text here as in the book. That's cool. Let's have a look at the next issue. And it'll be the same format that we normally see, won't it? So we'll have an article, and then we'll have, well, here's the articles on astrology. Well, we're going to get a Zodiac Tarot in part 64 and 65. Did not know that. Okay. So combining tarot with astrology, and if that's something you're interested in, I've got a whole Deacon Walk series I can link below, which does exactly that. And it is fascinating. Anyway, so yeah, that's all about astrology and tarot. So this is that Zodiac Tarot. That looks different, doesn't it? Look at this Hermit card. This looks really modern. We've got someone cleaning floors here. So yeah, we're talking about astrology, the meanings, zodiac basics, the houses. Wow, it's a whole rabbit hole to wander down, Alice. Okay, so I call in detail 5 of Wands, passion in action, agitation and conflict. We've got here competition, conflict. Some keywords, some symbols. meanings, your personal divination, psyche and soul, what the card shows us, questions we can ask, the lesson of the card, and then how it correlates to the Golden Dawn. So here we've got, look, the planet Saturn, the sign Leo, esoteric name Lord of Strife. Examples, we have Worth. I'm fascinated by this Worth deck. Tarot of the Angels, which we've already had, the Klimt. We have traditional meanings, upright and reversed. What else we have? Lo Scarabeo, the Pagan Tarot, the one we've got. Nefertiti's John Bower, one is amazing. We have the Fae Tarot, Tarot of the 78 Doors, we've already had that. Tarot of the Dark Grimoire, and the Shaman Tarot. Okay, Shaman Tarot looks interesting. Right, so we have an example of that spread that was in the last issue here. We've used a different deck actually, we haven't used the Pagan Tarot, so we've used the Medieval Tarot. Well, okay, I suppose that makes sense. Past the meanings of the cards as they were drawn and a synthesis of that spread. We've got a technique here, and here we are using the Pagan Tarot. We've got a helicopter going overhead. I'll just pause while it goes. Well, that was loud as it went over, quite low. Okay, so assessing questions, and this is the second in this article, the second part of this article. So more about choosing the correct approach in a reading depending on the level of seriousness underlying a querent's question. When you want to learn something new, casual questions will be very valuable indeed. Tarot Forefathers 13, the Hermetic Order of the Golden Dawn. So we have Crowley's deck and Waite's deck, who were both part of the Hermetic Order of the Golden Dawn. That's another rabbit hole. Combining systems. That's going to be an interesting article. Okay. And then we've got a visual reference to the Pagan Tarot. So that's the minor arcana. So they've broken it down, but not actually given any meanings for the minor cards. Why is that? Have I missed something? So you're supposed to do it yourself. So you'll go, okay, so this is the Four of Cups, or the Elder of Swords, and then combine the meanings. Perhaps that's the way you're supposed to do it. Which is a very Marseille way of doing things, because that's how the Marseille works. But here, we've actually got meanings. 8 of Wands. In a happier scene than the 7 of Wands, as she's figuring out her budget, writing out cheques to pay all the bills. Oof, okay. Which is sorting mail that contains money. Oh, there's money in the mail. Nice. You wouldn't get that in the 8 of Wands. Mind you, yeah, you get messages, I suppose. It's fast messages. Anyway, she sits comfortably while reading one of the letters. The ones that were threatening in the 7 are now bringing good tidings. Okay, that works. She is finally enjoying the return on her investment that she sent out in the 3 of Wands. She made an investment there. Okay, so I think if you connect to this deck and you want to work with this deck in any sort of depth, you could start here, but I would actually recommend having the kit, because otherwise I don't think it's enough. I don't think these magazines are great, but they're a stepping off point and nothing more, in my opinion. Anyway, that is my opinion. So let's have a sneak peek of what's coming. Let's end on a positive note. We have Liberty coming. Liberty is a beautiful deck. It's based on esoteric knowledge. Now, the guidebook that comes with the original deck, because I do have this, it's sparse. It's very sparse. And I don't think it's going to be any better in the magazine, to be fair. This is such a deep, deep deck. Very similar to the Thoth deck. It comes from the same tradition. And I would love someone to write a book on this deck, because it's intense. It's beautiful, but it's intense. And we'll be getting the final 2 kings, so that will be our deck. Golden Art Nouveau Tarot complete. Yeah, and what's the articles? Alchemy and Tarot. We're going to need to know about alchemy and tarot if we're going to work with the Liberty. Tarot and Kabbalah, yeah, again, Liberty. And the card in detail, we have the 6 of Wands and then the 7 of Wands. So that's what's coming. Okay. Well, so, yeah, I hope you enjoyed my little walkthrough and thoughts. And until the next video, bye friends, bye.